Hi, and welcome to Tea with the Fertility Godmother. I am going to talk to you today about 10 favorite foods or tips that are going to help you with your fertility. Excuse my background today. I'm actually getting my hair cut right after this call, and Shar, my hairdresser, said, "Oh, you can go in this room," because there was no Wi-Fi. Anyways, kind of funny, but I really wanted to be with you today. So today I'm going to talk to you about 10 essential foods that I find very helpful and I recommend to my patients that I think are essential for overall wellness and definitely for getting pregnant and having a healthy baby. So one of my favorite foods, it's kind of controversial for a lot of people. It's one of the ones that causes the biggest discussion, and that is grass-fed beef or meat. So usually I'll recommend somebody have 3 to 5 servings of red meat a week. That's a lot of red meat for most people. A lot of times I'm like, oh yes, my husband's gonna love you. Usually that's how the conversation goes. So the reason you want to have grass-fed beef is because it has a lot of nutrition that is really essential to nourishing your body, like no other food has. So some other foods that can follow into that category that help you, like we like to say, like nourishing your blood, or if you think about making sure that you're not anemic, because when you're pregnant, your body is going to require so much blood to nourish your uterus and also to nourish the baby, and that baby is going to take away everything from you. So you need to make sure you have ample amounts for you. So the other thing that you can do is lamb. Lamb is a favorite food in Chinese medicine because it's very warming, very nurturing. It has a ton of nutrients in it. Bone broth. So if you're somebody who has not eaten red meat in a long time, and this comes as a shock for you, then if you can do some type of bone broth, even if it's not red meat, but just make sure again that it's organic, because you really don't want any hormones or any pesticides, and you want your animals to be as free range in eating grass as possible. In fact, that reminds me, you have to be very careful when you're purchasing grass-fed beef. I mean, I know that it's a little more pricey, but on top of that, as usual, there's tricks. So you have to make sure that it's 100% grass-fed beef. A lot of times, if it's not 100% grass-fed beef, what they do is they let the cows roam, and then the last 3 weeks, they feed them, they fatten them up with corn, and that completely defeats the whole purpose, and is gonna not only mislead you, but have a completely different chemical reaction in your body, because grass-fed beef has a lot more omega-3s, which are really healthy fats for us, so it's really important. Okay, the other thing, so bone broth is a great substitute because you get the marrow from the bone, so it has a great nutritional value and helps build blood, and it's really great. You can make it yourself, you can purchase it. What I do is I always just put the bones in my soup. That's just how I make the soup. It makes it taste so much better. So you can just do that as well, and then you can eat the vegetables. Bone broth is also really good for digestive issues, so bone broth is great. So I said beef, lamb, bone broth, and then this one, not too many people do, but I like to mention it, is liver. Liver is great for iron, right? If you've ever been known somebody who's anemic, or if you've ever been anemic, usually liver is a great source of building up that blood and getting that iron and the other nutrients. I remember when, so if you know a little bit about me, I'm a little bit skeptical, even though I do complementary medicine. So in the beginning of my career, Chinese medicine has a philosophy called like cure like. So, eat eggs for your eggs, and you oysters for your sperm, for the testicles. And we know that oysters are an aphrodisiac, right? And the reason is because they have zinc in them, and zinc is really important for your libido. And then eggs is really important because it has choline in the yolk. So it's important, my arm's getting tired, it's important to eat the whole egg if you're going to be eating eggs, and that because it's a really good source of fat. So you want to make sure that you're getting that eggs. And I remember reading one day, I got so excited, in the Wall Street Journal, they had this graph of all the different foods that are important to have a healthy pregnancy, because they found a mineral choline that's so important to prevent birth defects. So eggs are really important, but you have to have the yolk. It's really important to have the yolk. And no, you don't have to worry about having high cholesterol when you have eggs. Some other favorite foods and for your tips today would be beets. So beets, they're nice and red, they're kind of heart-shaped like a uterus. They're full of B vitamins, and they also help with iron and nourishing the blood. Avocados are a favorite because it's a great source of fat, a great source of folate, a great source of B vitamins, fiber, potassium, all things that are going to be really helpful for your overall health and, of course, helping you get a baby. Seeds and nuts. Seeds and nuts are really great because they have your omega-3s in there. And in particular, I like to have Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are really high in zinc, and I usually recommend to our patients that, you know, that they include Brazil nuts in. So what I like to do is make sure that you have a mixture of nuts and seeds, and not always eat the same one every day, because that can cause problems down the road. So, but Brazil nuts would be great to include in your little mixture, excuse me, your mixture there, especially for men and sperm. Okay, so it's good for everybody, but I usually recommend for the men to include that as if they're helping to help with their sperm quality. Because even if you have a good sperm quality, we want you to have the best, right? So we talked about nuts and seeds and eggs and beef and lamb and liver and bone broth, avocados. What am I? Oh, and I think that's it. Yeah, so those are my 10 favorite foods for fertility that I'm going to share with you today. I hope you find that very helpful. If you would like more information, I'd love for you to feel free to download our Ultimate Guide to Fertility Foods by the Fertility Godmother. We'll post a link here for you. And we also have more information about male foods that for fertility that are really beneficial. You can feel free to download that. And if you would like more information, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're putting more videos on there. We're trying to really help you become more of a resource and help you on your journey. So make it a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.